pre-show, okay? The PPP pre-show. Listen, y'all better be liking this video. You know I don't ask y'all for much, okay? I don't ask y'all for much at all. Just hit the like and share if you can. Sharing is caring. Oh, man, I love y'all. I love y'all. There's no sound? I don't think there's any sound. Is there sound? Let me know. Okay. Why they said no sound then? Maybe because they used to be talking during the countdown, and I wasn't talking. So, yeah. All right, so listen, we got a heavy show tonight for y'all, okay? Warning. Graphic information, okay? Please put all your children away. I don't want to hear Tasha, my baby was in the room. Please, and I tell you this, that this information is so graphic, I really need you to stay to the end because the ending is going to make sense, all right? What you're going to hear is going to be disturbing. It's going to make you throw up. It's going to make you say, oh, my God, I can't listen to this anymore. But we got enough that is just approved, okay, for YouTube. All right, and y'all know that the rest of the stuff go on TashaKLive.com, all right? But we have a very good point. Now, tonight, we're going to be talking about Alec Baldwin, all right? P. Diddy, as well as 50 Cent and Angela Krogan. And, of course, I even hate calling him a doctor. Dr. Larry Reid, Dr. Sticky Mouth Reid, all right? And here's why we're going to be talking about him tonight. It's because that he had the audacity to open his sticky mouth with the lisp and say that I knew about him and teenage boys. That's what he said. That's what he said. We got the video. That's what he said. Ain't nobody lying on him. That's what he said. Okay? And now he's trying to implicate everybody in this. Well, Tasha was my friend. She knew about this. She was the one that told me to sue the vlogger. I did, because you told me, and I didn't do my research, that this man was harassing you and making up these allegations on you. But I didn't know that there were victims. And I have audio proof to dispel that. Not only do I have audio proof to dispel that, I got a whole confession from you, sir. A whole confession. This is aside from the receipts. This is gonna lead, when the receipts drop, you're going to be like, wow. Like I said, this is the kickoff of our PPP series on TashaKLive.com. We'll be doing series like this all the time on TashaKLive.com. So you make sure that you're subscribed to TashaKLive.com to get our series, our PPP series, because you never know. It may be your pastor that is up next. Okay? We're done here. And like I said, the reason we're choosing to do it on Sundays is because they choose to do what they do on Sundays. So we're going to use the Lord's Day, okay? All right, now real quick, before we get started with everything, guys, I really need y'all to like this video. Of course, we have to take a moment to thank our sponsors. After the break, we're going to be talking about P. Diddy and Careasha, 50 Cent and Angela Krogan, and this lawsuit that he has against her, along with Alec Baldwin and then Larry Reid, okay? We got a whole hour of confessions. The man did confessionals of confessions of Dr. Sticky. All right. A whole confession out of his mouth, not mine. You know, he likes things in his mouth. He likes things to come out his mouth and go in his mouth. We got a whole confession. I please ask you to stay to the end. Now, with that being said, we got some sponsors that we need to brag about, which means boldly raise a glass to you. Make sure you like this video, share, and we'll be right back after the commercial break, okay? Hold that thought. Yaki, okay? You are a master healer, a spiritual healer. You deal in the metaphysics. You are a biochemist. Wow. You're technically like a naturopathic doctor.
And I'm a certified biochemist. I've been doing that for like the last 10 years. So I heal myself of diabetes. I heal myself of scar tissue on my heart disease, toenail fungus, all of these things. So if you go to the doctor right now, your blood work, and you go get a CBC chart, and they check your white blood cells, they check your chloroplast, your neutrophils, your basophils, your monophils, your red blood cells, your hemoglobin. The statistics that they're going to check it by is based off of the blood analysis of a 40-year-old Caucasian male.
How is that possible?
So when you actually check the vaginal bacteria of a black woman and you check the vaginal bacteria of a Caucasian woman or an Asian woman, the diversity of microbes inside of the black woman's vagina is crazy. Our penises is shrinking every year. Centimeters, all the way up to 2 inches. So babies are now coming out with just small penises and we don't know why.
And the doctors are telling the patients what the pharmaceutical companies want us to do.
Yeah, but so my question would be this: when is money gonna stop being the mediator between us telling our people lies and miseducation to our people? Everything they ever have told us is a lie. They tell us that our heart is a pump. Your heart is not a pump. Your heart is a valve. Your lungs is a pump that pumps the blood to the heart. The heart is a valve mechanism that controls the cardio output of blood. Everything they tell us about everything is a lie. They tell you your hair is just hair. No, our hair is non-ether hair. It is actually an extension of your nervous system. It is used to scan the environment, and it brings all of these different melanin neurotransmitters back to your skin to tell you whether to actually engage in the environment or take fight or flight and run away. We heal a lot of what you would call celebrities or stars, a whole lot of them. My name ring bells in the celebrity kingdom.
I know.
Ring bells. We done heal cancer. We done heal a lot of STDs with rappers, a whole lot of it's crazy STD. We done got people off of opioids. We grew a thyroid back. We got rid of a case of HIV in the actual celebrity community. It's crazy the way they call me, and it's like you got everything you want, but you missing your health. And the way they call me in distress is just like, that money you got don't mean nothing right now. And I start asking, I said, that money, how did that feel? And they be telling me like, I feel like I'm incapable. I feel like I got all this money and I can't buy help.
Winos, but for real, listen close and listen carefully. The olive leaf extract can reverse high blood pressure and diabetic high blood sugar, or the sugar as some of our grandmamas may call it. It can also kill any nasty little bugs in your bodies like parasites, bacteria, fungi, tumors, and much, much more. And if that's not enough, you can also tell certain cancers like breast, prostate, colon, liver, and skin cancer to take a seat, because the olive leaf extract has been known to fight it, and their friend lupus can get it too, okay? So I need my winos to be in good health because we have some good dragging to do. So visit myoliveleaf.biz to help get your health in order. All right, winos, check out our Unwine with Tasha store. We got sweatshirts that say, now I gotta go and I ain't got it. We got crop top, wine mug, water bottles. We got it all, okay? So be sure to hit that link below. All right, and we back. We're back. Remember, okay? We got a 4-hour-long confessional from Dr. Sticky Mouth, all right? Stay tuned for that. If moderators, I do have one instruction. If anybody is caught promoting another creator's channel in this chat, you are instructed to time them out or block them if they're spamming, okay? Oh, tonight we're on demon time tonight. Okay? We're on demon time tonight. So listen, if you're promoting another creator's channel, you will be gone. Simple as that. All right? We are here doing the Lord's work, and we're here with receipts from the mouth in which he paid $60 to teenage boys to come in. So, all right, real quick, let's start with Phyllis. Is it Phyllis? Alec Baldwin. Now, I told y'all, real quick, before we get into our Larry Reid whole hour-long confessional, I told y'all they were going to come collect, okay? You cannot kill one of their breeders. All right? They have gone as far as to stop pro-choice. We no longer have rights over our bodies. And when you have taken one of their own from them, okay, of the Proud Boys, and you've taken her ability away to procreate, somebody's going to have to answer for that. Now, he has been charged with involuntary manslaughter, which means he didn't mean to do it, but he ended up doing it, which means he woke up and God said it was his time, okay? Because like I said, these people are coming for blood, all right? He has already been blacklisted in Hollywood ever since he shot that white woman on the set of Rust. And also he has been cut. They have gave the movie royalties of Russ over to the family, so they're still going to put out the movie and market the movie in her honor, so everybody's going to watch the movie. All right, so they're pretty much working for free, and he can't work no more in Hollywood, and he may be going to jail. He may be about to do about 2 or 3 years, but it's mainly because he killed one of their breeders, and you can't do that. You cannot do that. All right, we are not pro-choice anymore. We are living in different times. It is almost borderline The Handmaid's Tale going on. I got on my Handmaid's Tale outfit tonight. Okay, listen, okay. And so, like I said, involuntary manslaughter. They've already charged a few people on set that was responsible for giving him the prop gun. It was mixed with live bullets as well as fake bullets. He decided to point the gun at one of their breeders, pull the trigger, take her out, and now she cannot procreate in the name of the Proud Boys, and they want blood. Like I said, they want blood. Now pray for this man. Pray for this man because he's going to need it. He's really going to need it. It's just an unfortunate situation. And like I said, I don't even understand how the prop department is in charge of props. And why is it that y'all have real guns on set with live bullets mixed up with blanks? That makes no sense. And then you give it to him. Somebody set this man up. It was a setup. It was truly a setup. This is so unfortunate. It's almost unfortunate as getting in your car and not making it home. That's how unfortunate it is. Just like that little boy, that damn near teenage boy. I think he was early 20s, if I'm not mistaken. He was a truck driver. Ended up sliding off the road in an 18-wheeler and killing 15 people. They gave that man life in prison for an accident. Concurrently. Okay? So listen, y'all better pray for Alec, and y'all better leave these breeders alone. They mean business out here. Like I said, we are in Handmaid's Tale time. That's why we need to stay in our own communities. They won't bother us. I love people. Don't get me wrong. I love all people. But I'm telling you, laws are going to be very different for us versus them. Okay? Moving on. Now, 50 Cent and Angela Krogan. Y'all do know we interviewed Angela Kogan right after the Shade Room picked up her story and used 50 Cent's photo as promotion for her cosmetic enhancement boutique. Okay, so she came and she did a whole interview with us. We put that interview out. I believe we put it here on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken, but it is definitely for sure on TashaKLive.com. And she came in and she talked about penile enlargement. She talked about women coming in as wives and girlfriends to request penile enlargements and stuff like that for their partners, all types of procedures that they did, mainly kind of like an infomercial. But it was interesting because I didn't know that men were going out here getting surgery like that. We heard about it, but to actually have somebody sitting in the office and say that her doctors are the ones that do this. And 50 Cent's photo was used as promotion because he stopped by the studio, took a picture with this lady, and this lady used the photo to advertise her business, but it alluded to 50 Cent needing, I guess, some type or possibly getting some type of enhancements. Now, we've seen what he was working with in Power. It was an episode, and if you remember that episode of Power, hit the wine glass if you remember that episode of Power. And he took out his little thing, and in my opinion, it was little. And so I guess with her posting the photo, it kind of made sense. Maybe because he had got dragged so much for that scene, and everybody thought it was like a slip up, but he actually wanted to show the shadow and the length and the width of what he was working with, that it made sense, and it really brought her a lot of business. And I guess because of all of that, it was kind of like the perfect storm. Y'all saw it. He ended up filing a lawsuit against her, saying that she is advertising that he received penis enlargements at her boutique, and he has suffered harm to his reputation and his likeness. And so now she's trying to blame it on the Shade Room because she says the Shade Room, she ain't blaming it on me. Well, she blaming it on me before her story was already viral before she got here. And we didn't talk nothing about 50 Cent. We didn't say nothing about 50 Cent in that interview. We talked about all the white people that come into her thing, her cosmetic thing. That lady said that about me. For Chelsea about the what? I was like, hold up. I know damn well she ain't said that about me. And I know he has since added shade room to that lawsuit. I don't need no more lawsuits. We're done. Okay? We're done in that arena. Okay? So we dot I's, cross T's around here. Okay? Now, and so yeah, he since even added shade room to the lawsuit saying that he has suffered reputational damage. And I think, like I said, it had everything to do with him putting his stuff out because he's a big guy. 50 Cent is a big guy. And what we saw in Power, it didn't give big. It didn't. Not for a guy his size. You know, skinny guys are the ones y'all missing out on. It's them little dudes. So, yeah, I was stuttering. Absolutely. Yeah, I was stuttering. So I'm just saying, like, I'm interested to see where this lawsuit goes. I know he got really good lawyers. He hasn't lost one yet. Well, he did lose one. He lost $5 million. Almost, I think it was like $5 to $7 million. He lost to Rick Ross's baby mama, and he's still paying her to this day, okay? Even though he did file bankruptcy, he has worked out payments to her. But ever since then, he learned his lesson, and he ain't lost no lawsuit since, okay? Just like I got my one and done. 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 All right, now. So, yeah, I'm going to be watching this. And like I said, I don't know how this is going to go because I didn't see her say that 50 Cent or advertise that 50 Cent received services. It was kind of like he just endorsed her business by taking a picture with her. And celebrities are asked to come out all the time to take pictures with businesses like hers so that they can promote. But he says he didn't know that she was into cosmetic surgery for men, and he got dragged. And of course, in my opinion, he looked like he could have used a little nip and tuck. Okay? Moving on. All right. P. Diddy. Pissy Diddy said, take that. You know what's embarrassing? Let me rewind this back a little bit, okay? Now, Careasha, please, is doing whatever she got to do to make sure that show is #1. You go, girl. You go. And she is making sure that she stays the #1 Diddy Bop, okay? He got Diddy Bop at the Diddy Bop that is receiving gifts and monies and things like that don't have to come out on the scene. They don't have to work, but she got to work. Careasha is the culture. Young people love her. Even older people, even older ratchet hoes love her. There's a lot of older ratchet hoes now. They love her. You know what I'm saying? They still wear bodysuits at 46, 47. You know? We see them all the time in the beauty supply store. They love her. For whatever reason, they still think they can run the same tricks that they did at 20 years old. They lived through her. Now, she has since came out with another episode and told us that she enjoys golden showers. She would have done well under R. Kelly's realm, okay? I think if she had to choose between Diddy and R. Kelly, she probably would have chose R. Kelly more because I think she would have been, I don't know. I think she probably would have played them both, to be honest with you. I mean, if R. Kelly would have heard about this, the Pissy Pied Piper, whoo. He would have had Careasha in sweatsuits. The problem is Diddy don't know how to control them. He don't know how to control the Diddy Pops. Now, for her to be embarrassed and have to, over a baby, and she claims she knew about the baby, but yet cussed every other blogger out about the baby, had Diddy come to the internet to say that she wasn't no side chick, but she was very special to him. And then she comes out to say that she's sleeping with somebody else, even though that is definitely not true because he is the only man all over her social media, and the only person on his social media is his new baby that he made with the Blasian woman that he loves, okay? Because he made that baby out of love. This is promotion. This is branding. We've talked about this. This is a whole face, okay? The Blasian woman can't sell DeLeon, but she can. And all he got to do is piss on her in order for her to sell it. And I guarantee you that piss smell like DeLeon. And it burns when it hits her. She says she doesn't know what, it just does something to her. But Careasha is giving me very pick-me. She is giving me very low self-esteem because a woman especially any woman that claims to be successful or in the limelight, why would you have to stoop so low and do so much in order for somebody to claim you? It's kind of like how Glorilla came out saying that she enjoys her men nutting on fries, and she tells she gonna eat the fries. She ain't eating them cold fries. Not even roaches eat cold fries. You gonna sit there and wait 5 minutes knowing fries only got 5 minutes before they get cold for somebody to nut on the fries, and then you gonna try to eat the hard fry, and you can't unless they the thick fries and natural fries, but more than likely she getting them from McDonald's. And she can't eat them, and neither can roaches. Nobody can eat fries from McDonald's when they cold. Your grandmama got to suck on them because they so hard and they teeth gone. You know, you got a grandmama, auntie, teeth gone. They got to suck on them damn fries just to get them to soften up. You can't even soften them up. They just saying anything now for shot day. And now she got P. Diddy literally trending for P. Diddy. Pissy Diddy. I'm just like, haven't you had enough? You think that this is helping his brand? It's even giving more R. Kelly, especially after Gina came on the show to say that he kicked the baby out of her stomach. And be her. And then Kim, she was saying it, and it wound up missing. It's a lot of stuff going on. Careasha, you better be quiet. I guarantee you keep messing with this man. You keep messing with him. You gonna be having tea with Kim. Yeah. You gonna be spilling tea with Kim. Keep playing. Keep playing. Now, moving on. Told y'all we just getting warmed up. I know y'all here for the Dr. Sticky. I know you here for Dr. Sticky. We know how sticky it gets. We know how sticky it gets. And Dr. Sticky had the audacity to say that I knew that he was sleeping with teenage boys. And I'm mad over a business deal. What? How many business deals I make every day? What? Okay. So listen, we're here because Dr. Sticky got so nervous after we did episode 1. He should have waited till we did episode 5. Who is this calling me from Facebook? Anyway. Dr. Sticky got so nervous during our live on Sunday and Monday. The story of 15-year-old Lavontre Andrews. He took not only to his YouTube to say a whole lot of sticky shit. And then after he took to his YouTube, he went on Patreon for another 5 hours and told everything. Then said in that when he was done, I'm not going to address this no more. We're done. We're going to get it all out, he said. We're going to get it all out. But he never brought that video to the forefront. He never brought the confession to the forefront. That's what we're here for. We're here to free him. We are here to free him so that he can open his mouth wide without the lisp and talk without the lisp. Okay? Yeah. So you know we got a whole 6-episode series on Dr. Larry Reid Live. Is he a pastor? Is he a prophet? Is he a pedo? And you answer that question. In my opinion, he's number 3. Okay? And once we unwind these receipts tonight, because this is going to be the last time that anybody says that I knew. Let me tell you something. I don't care how long that I've known you. And I've said this in the previous live, and I'm just going to reiterate myself. I don't care how long. I don't owe you shit. You're not my family. You don't put food on my table. You don't take care of my children. I don't owe you shit. And just because people are hitting friend buttons and subscribe buttons and we collaborate and do stories together, it's just people are using the term friend too lightly these days. And you think that just because me and you had conversations and we shared some personal things that happened to us, privately and publicly, that makes me loyal to you enough that I would sweep a young boy's story under the rug for you? Come on now. Come on. We're not doing this. We're not doing this today. Like I said, that is over today, okay? And so there's been lie after lie after lie, and I'm so glad that he got so nervous that he went live for 4 hours. Not only did he confess, we ain't even drop our receipts yet. Not only did he confess, but his team confessed it. And I said, ooh, I smell Rico. Because he thinks that he can't somehow beat what R. Kelly was. Harvey Weinstein was. Kaylin Walker was. And listen, like I said, there's more. There's more. There's more, okay? Now, what we're going to do, what you're going to hear first, now, if you're a TashaKLive.com subscriber, or maybe even a big old subscriber, you've heard this particular audio before, but I have to play this before I play his confessional, okay? This audio that you're going to hear is me calling him, telling him that I had received receipts about him paying teenage boys to come in his mouth. And in that phone call, I want you to listen. Listen and hear if I knew about any of this. So the next time you hear that lie on the platform, you heard it from Dr. Sticky's mouth that Tasha K had no idea that this was going on. And had I would have known, this story would have been brought to you a lot sooner, okay? 2022, 2020. Roll this audio. Stay right here after the break because we got another audio. Oh, we bringing them out tonight. Bring them out. Bring them out. And the reason I got on my white is because it's so disturbing. Trust me, I'm coming in pure form. This is purity. This is, look, transparency. This is what it looks like. Go ahead and roll that audio. Hey, Reid, it's Tasha K. How you doing?
Hello, Tasha. How are you?
Fantastic. Up working late. You got a few minutes for me?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay. So, I know a lot has transpired on the internet. And I know you were upset about the bishop stuff and everything like that. But even though you and I would probably never, I guess, communicate again, like as far as like on a friendship level, there is something I want to talk to you about. Okay. So I was contacted by some of the alleged accusers. All right. And because I had a relationship with you, I think it's only fair that you get to speak on it or talk about it if you want to. And it's not fair for me to put out or attempt to do a story, because I haven't done it yet, without you speaking on it, like, or given the opportunity to speak on it, because that's what any platform would do. So I'm trying to remain like non-biased in this situation because I did know you, I still know you, but I'm considering taking the story, but I can't take the story if you don't agree to talk about it because it's one-sided. What do you think about that?
Well, the only accuser that was somebody that accused me of something that was a crime was the person that I've already filed a lawsuit against.
There's 3 other people, though.
I don't know who they is. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So
who that could be at all.
You
but
sure?
I can't speak on something. I don't even know who the people are.
Well, what about speaking on the one accuser that you filed a lawsuit against?
Well, now I won't speak on any of that because it's not true. And if I speak on it, I'm going to publicize it.
But I think you've been on platforms before. Didn't you speak on like Conscious platform and you had kind of made comment about it?
I never have. There's no footage of that because I never done it.
Really?
Never, ever. Not even as it relates to that dude. I never have. Because it's a complete lie.
What if I told you the reason I'm considering taking the story is because there are some receipts that seem pretty solid?
That's impossible.
You sure?
People accuse. I'm 100%.
You know I'm calling you, I'm calling you because, listen, I don't have anything against you. You understand what I'm saying? Me and you have had our differences.
People accusing me of what?
Sure.
Oh, that is crazy. Man, that is made up. Whatever receipts they gave you, they made it up. That is stupid.
So I guess what I'm calling to ask. So if I decide to take the story, you are not going to sit down and address it.
I'm not going to what?
You're not going to agree to sit down with me and address it.
Because it's not even true. Why am I going to sit down and talk about something that's not true and publicize? I'm just going to let my lawyers handle it.
But okay, so here's the thing. You know me, right? Molestation is, me and you have talked a lot about our past traumas and the things that we've gone through, right?
Yeah.
And so if I'm calling you as somebody that know you and have known you, and yeah, we've had our differences publicly, but it had nothing to do with this, right? And if I say to you, I have receipts that are vetted, you don't want the opportunity to speak on that if I decide to go forward with the story, is what you're saying. You just gonna let it go.
Yeah, because I know myself and I know my past. I know what I've done, my present. There is no receipt of me doing anything to anybody, especially underage.
Okay.
At all. It's something that somebody make up. And the only person who ever was close to me enough to make up a lie is the one that I'm suing. So anybody else is totally making something up. 100%.
So you saying the receipts are made up is what you're saying. That is your...
Absolutely.
And it's nothing that you put out there or you said or you wrote. You didn't do it.
Now, people have been taking what I say and splicing stuff on my platform because I'm very transparent. But I have never, ever, like that dude is saying to the courts, forcibly fondling or whatever else he did. Never, ever happened. So any receipt that you'll be using will be a lie.
You sure?
Because it never happened. I'm 100% sure.
Like, I want you to think right now, because my name, I'm Latasha Kibi. You knew me as Latasha Kibi. You know me as Tasha K, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I have, I just want to be clear that you're saying that you didn't put this out there.
Well, that makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense, but here's the thing. To you, it may not make sense. But I'm trying to tell you, if I'm calling you Larry, and I'm calling you as Tasha, I'm calling you as somebody that's known you, that's been to your house, and I'm telling you, I ain't got nothing against you, Larry. Nothing at all. I ain't spoke on you. Nothing.
Listen to what you're saying.
Okay.
You're telling me you have a receipt of something that I put out. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't know if I put out something of somebody saying that I molested them. Mm-hmm. How in the hell? And that's vague. What is it they're putting out? What are they saying? I mean, if
you apologize to them for doing it.
Oh my Jesus!
And you wrote it.
I know never.
If I were you, here's the thing. Here's what I would say to you. I haven't decided whether or not I was going to take the story or not. I'm not worried about
True.
I'm coming to you as a person that is very neutral in this right now. Because if I wasn't neutral, I could have just went ahead and been like, boom, there you go, right? But I'm not doing that. I'm giving you the opportunity. I'm telling you. See, if it were me, I would be like, I need to know what this is before I say with everything in me that this does not exist.
Well, yeah, I want to know what it is because I'm interested in what they made up.
It's not made up.
Natasha, how you know it's not made up?
Because of where it came from.
What you mean?
So you saying there's nothing out there of you apologizing to a victim till you were blue in the face about what you did to them? Because why would you apologize to somebody that has accused you of doing heinous things to them? So why would you apologize? But in this, you are apologizing and you want to apologize and you say you have apologized and to call me so you can apologize more. You didn't say, yeah?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so.
At all. And who is the person?
That's another thing. Like, you know, when it comes to these accusers, for their safety and stuff, I got to keep them. But
what am I going to do to somebody? I mean, I'm not even doing nothing to the boy, the main one that filed the police report. And how come they ain't did that? If that happened and they got that evidence, how come they won't go to the authorities?
Well, I mean, listen, the authorities have already been contacted. I can tell you that. And because of the statute of limitations, certain things cannot be done. However,
but they still civilly, they can still do something.
They can, and who's to say that they won't? I'm just telling you, like I'm calling you because this story keeps coming across my desk, and I said I will not touch this unless there has to be a receipt that's so heavy that there's no way that he can get around this. That's the only way that I'll take it, because I don't want people to think, oh, she's vengeful. There's something she trying to take him down. I could care less about what you got going on over there. That's your platform. You don't have nothing I want. You know what I'm saying? Nothing I need. Nothing like that. We had our differences over comments that were made, but that was it. That's as far as it goes. But when it comes to children and molestation, you know what has been done to me, and my platform
what's been done to me. So why would I turn around and do that to a child?
I don't know, and that's why I'm calling to talk.
And what child has been around me as a grown man? There ain't no child been around me as no grown man.
Okay, so I guess I'm taking this as your official decline. If I were to take the story, you are declining to sit down and address it.
Not only that, am I declining to address, I'm telling you it's not the truth. And if you go forth with a story and I'm telling you it's not the truth, then you're going to be held accountable to that and that person.
No, you see, no, that's not how it works. Okay, so there's no being held accountable for anything. So I'm in the media and this is my job, okay? And so you don't get to threaten me or tell me what's going to happen to me. You are not
threatening you.
Okay. I'm just saying too. I called you respectfully. Okay, nobody's gonna be held accountable for anything. I told you there's a receipt out there of you apologizing. For doing the things that the person said that you did to them, and you're saying to me that it's made up, and I'm telling you that it's not made up because it came from you.
But how do you know it come from me?
Because it came from you. And I'm not even gonna tell you where it came from, but I can tell you right now. It came from you. If I'm telling you as Tasha, before I even take this story, that this came from you, it came from you. So you can sit here and say, oh, it didn't come from me. So now I know. And I'm telling you that I know that you're not being truthful.
Okay. All right, Tasha.
So I'm giving you the opportunity to address it.
No, you're not giving me an opportunity. It's not an opportunity because I don't know what you're talking about.
Then, okay, that's a difference than saying, I don't know what you're talking about versus this is not true.
I'm saying I don't know what you're talking about, meaning I don't know what lie that somebody has created out of something I said on my platform. I don't know.
No, you didn't say it on your platform. You said it to them.
But don't you think I would know who you were talking about?
Probably not because apparently this ain't the first time.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Okay.
So
Well, you go with that. That's not even true.
all right, so you're declining and you're saying that it's not true
100%.
and you didn't say it.
100%.
All right. So if you do change your mind, call me.
All right, I won't.
All right then.
All right.
All right, and we're back, okay? Now, that was just a reminder, all right? TashaKLive.com appers have already heard this call, so is Bigo. But I wanted to reiterate, since there's some information going around that I knew, and I knew this way then, even it came out of his mouth, and you're going to hear that tonight. So you're going to know that I did not know that there were little boys being paid $60, okay? Period. And also, he denied apologizing that he was blue in the face. And to those of y'all that are asking about the police report, there's already been a police report filed since 2017. But you know what's great is that he said that nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happened is what he said. Y'all better stay here and listen to all of this audio that took place on Monday, the same day as our live stream with Levontre Andrews on YouTube. And this man sat for 4.5 hours crying on Patreon with his team and with his members about what he did to Levontre Adams. Here, Andrews, here's the audio. Enjoy.
When it comes to certain things, you have to address. And I had said that to the pastors that I was covering their stuff when it became public. I said, now it's become public. I said, not always you need to address, but 9 times out of 10 you need to. But when it comes to certain things, your silence can make you look guilty. And somebody said, sue her like Cardi B did. We're going to look at, I'm all for suing. I spent $250,000 in the courts on that first vlogger that started all of this in December 2019. But remember, when I kicked Levontre Andrews and his wife Ashley Andrews out of my properties, it was like a couple of months later, maybe a few months later, we began to hear this rumor. They were in the Greensboro, Winston-Salem area in North Carolina, and we were in Raleigh-Durham. So when we first heard about it, and I was told by some people that knew me up there, I said, I don't believe he said that. I just didn't believe it. But lo and behold, he did. His mom, Sharon Andrews, now she's Sharon Benniston or something like that. She was still in the ministry. And she basically was saying, because she told me what she said, either he said or she heard he said from her other son who's openly gay. And I said, okay. I just let it fly. It's my nature. I said, let him tell the story that he wanted to tell. Now, I wasn't about to tell her, no, turn that around. That's more like the truth. I mean, it just wasn't, because I was keeping everybody's secrets. He wasn't the only person that was in the church. And he knows this, which is some of the stories that he's telling, because I shared way too much with him. And he's painting some stuff that is not true. And so when she asked me, and I have to give you the word of this, I was 28 years old, pastoring all these people. Shamaka was 25, 26, depends on what time of the year. That's when how our ages are. And Lisa was 27 to 28, depends on what time of the year. Latrice was somewhere around there at the same time. And I see all your questions. You're going to be able to ask all your questions. I'm not getting off this live until I'm complete. And you can't see them, but there are people down here that work with me. Oh, God, I feel emotional. Go. All these people who work with me, who have not had time like I have to heal from being used, abused, and then dragged and talked about and thrown away. That had to file bankruptcy from taking care of people. Let me do a couple of swallows. That's because I sort of feel like there's a part of that that is my fault. I didn't expect that. Okay. But it's been a lot, and we just kept it because that's what we do. So we're going to get it all out tonight. Why are so many of y'all crying? Stop. I can see y'all. We're going to get it all out. And this is the beginning of the close. Sit with the pain and you let it go. Okay? Can y'all stop? Oh my God. I got to get funny. Okay, so that's that. The next lie I need to dispel that Tasha K is purposefully pushing is Larry Reid live molested, fondled 15-year-old. I did not know Lavantre at all. And when I say no, that means have a relationship where we talk. If I would see him at church, I don't remember seeing him at church. Maybe he was, because somebody was telling me that he started playing the drums. I don't remember him that far back. I don't remember seeing him until he was sitting in Shamako Bryant's house after they all moved from Fayetteville, North Carolina to Raleigh, Durham, because I moved to Raleigh, Durham in 2005. And then it was me and Vincent Hill that moved to Raleigh before. Actually, I moved there because I wanted to stay there. I did not know God was calling me to bring the whole ministry there. So I moved there in 2005, and in 2007, remember these dates? In 2007, I moved the church up in March of 2007. At the same time, me and my then wife was divorcing. So all this story that is been told about 14 years old first, because that's what he said with the first interview. The second interview, 15 years old, he said that with Whitehead. I did not know him. And in 2005, I was living in Raleigh. He was living wherever they were. I think they were living in Rayford, North Carolina. There was no communication. I will only see the members when I drove into town. Listen to me. When I drove into town to preach. It is 100% a lie. It's provable because of leases and utility. So anyway, another lie is, I'm talking about already. 14, I did not know him. 15, I did not know him at all. I did not see him until in the year 2007. When I say see, I mean like, I did not see him. That's normal for me. In fact, there are probably so many people with that testimony that was in my ministry. I just did not. What is that? No, that's not true. That was work that he would come to my house and do, which was nothing. I basically was giving him that $60 because he didn't have a skill set outside of playing drums that he could do for me. I was helping him because you got to remember, this guy was very close to me in Shamako. So we our boundaries wasn't good. The moment we recognized that we were being replaced in his mind from a father that was not there, and in his words, a mother that was not there. That was the words of him and his brother. I did have a relationship with his brother in 2007 via social media. We were sort of like picking up where she left off and the father was not there. But that don't work no more on me. So that's that. So let me put this up so you can look at the timeline so you can understand that this is very strategic. They know I did not know Levontre at 15 years old. Okay. 2004. He was 14. In the first interview he had, oh Lord, I didn't know his name was in here. I don't like saying his name. He claimed he was molested at a particular home, 3216 Lusty Drive, Raleigh, North Carolina. That house wasn't even in existence. 2005, he was 15. Now remember, his birthday is October 1990. So he doesn't become this age until in October. Second interview, he said he was 15. This is the interview with Bishop Whitehead. In 2005, he said he was 15, and he was, but he didn't say he had a year wrong, because he said that's when the molestation started in 3216. That house was not built. I closed on that house later in October, moved into it the next month. So he would be 16 after I moved into the house, and he will stay 16 until October of the next year. It was the next year, and that year he was 17, but that's after October. And that year is when I saw him. Now let me explain the saw him when I say that. I would just come around. Shamako was the go-to when it came to the members. And then Latrice, and it went on and on. Now, me and Lisa was pretty separated from the members. We were like, you know how black churches is. They were like pastor and first lady and the child, who only had one at the time. And I was preaching, however, but it was really Mako and Latrice who were like the main touch points in the ministry. So I went over to Mako house because it was in the same neighborhood. I went to Mako house and I walked in because his house was full. Now this is 2007, so I brought the church there in March of 2007. So Mako and them moved to that place in 2007. So this is around the summer, July, August. And me and Vincent went over to Shamako house. And when we walked in, I'm speaking to everybody and looking, I said, now who's that? I said, oh, what you got on? What is that you look a mess? And talking to I said, look, you need to go with us to the mall so we get you some clothes. So we went to the mall. Now let me give you the world of this. There are so many people that meet me and in the first month, met me, this is over, that met me, and in the first month, I would go to their home with Vincent Probinier or Shamako. I remember there was this lady that wanted to come to my prayer revival. I flew her in. She stayed in another room in my house. Oh, I should have had her on, because see, people didn't, because this is how I was. She stayed in the house with me and Vincent, and we went to the mall. I see you like that, and I started shopping for it, because that was me. That's how I am. There's this part of me still like that today, but not random people. And that's the story. So I done that. Me and Vincent took him and then dropped him back off at Shamako house. So that began him talking to me and sharing with me. And sometimes he would ask Shamako to come over to my house. So, but he ended up moving into my house the 1st of 2008. He was 17 years old. But me, being how I am, I said, this is too many people. I don't have that grace. I said, this is too many people. Vincent, we leaving. We moved out every bit of, somewhere between 30 and 60 days, we were gone. And I moved behind Triangle Mall, 6002, thank you, Kohler Lane, which eventually, that's when Kendall moved in. Till he did something he ain't got no business, I kicked him out. But anyway, so so he stayed there, and that's when, by this time, me and Lisa now is fully divorced, and now I'm just working, preaching. I'm 20, something years old, I don't know what I was. And I done seen this other lady, got caught up with her, put a ring on her finger to marry me. So we engaged and she started coming to the church. So the dynamic of the ministry, then I started traveling out the country from 2008 all the way to about 2000 and about the middle end of 2009. I was never at the church, very rarely. So Vincent in the house and Shamako were really his touch points, Levantre's touch points. He idolized me in a way that I didn't realize it. I didn't know it. So that was 2008, the beginning part of 2008, and I moved to Kohler Lane. So I went to, all of this is in my complaint when I filed against Levantre. When I moved to Kohler Lane, of course, I was bouncing around every darn where. I went and got a house for me and the new lady I was engaged to. Her daughter took to me. I moved her into one of my properties. She changed her last name to mine. It was a whole thing. Long story short, I had a dream like I always do. That tore up, but we still remain connected. So now we're in 2009. So I'm moving out of this big, huge house that I got for us. I still had to pay for it, but I wanted to find me a little 3-bedroom apartment, moved in there. Vincent was in that apartment with me. And changes happened down there at the house at 3216. Levantre was down there in that house. So I moved the young guys, because they were all, well, Trey was the youngest, but Trey was the youngest out of them, if I'm not mistaken. So that's 2009. So 19, by this time, well, it may have been before October. So Trey would have been, Levantre would have been, you can tell the Lord did a work on my heart because I called him Trey and Bon Trey. That was his nickname, Bon Trey. And so I don't have nothing in my heart towards him, even with all of this. So I moved all of them up. So this 2009, so he was 18 going on 19. So when I moved them all into my house, my 3-bedroom flat, it was like a penthouse. Once again, I said there are too many of these folk in my house. So I moved in the next building in the 1-bedroom. And Vincent watched them over there. So you guys getting a picture of how things worked. This is like a family church. And most of these people didn't have parents, or if they did have parents, they was in a estranged relationship, or they was in a hard place in their life, or they was addicted to drugs, or they were fresh out of jail. I've had murderers living in my home. I've had mentally ill people living in my home who have stories for days. But that was how I did ministry. I thought that's what Jesus did. Which now I wish somebody had told me that this is some bullshit. I mean, if I tell the truth, Lisa was consistently in my ear. The lady I was dating was a preacher, powerful preacher. I ain't gonna call her name just so she ain't be attached to none of this crazy man. She came in the ministry like, she said, this is ungodly. She's Jamaican. This is ungodly. She said, Bishop, these people are using you. I mean, I was trying to stop her. Do y'all remember that? I was trying to stop her and protect the people from her, but she was right. So anyway, so that's 2009. I moved back to the house that Lottler and Crystal and his 3 children had moved in to take care of the dudes. And then I moved back. Someone said, are you going to be done with this before my birthday in March? Y'all, we are talking about this and we're not talking about it no more. So you have got to let us go through every little tiny thing because they're already planning to 3 and 4 lives with some of these people we're naming so that, well, you shouldn't be watching it. But there may be people who are in here who are part of that community. I'm like, I want to know what happened because people just know and they can really be entertaining. So they can have all the facts. But what they are touting, I did not know him at 14 or 15, talked to him at 16, took him shopping. He moved into my house at the top of 2008. He was 17 years old then, turning 18 in October. And the reason why I'm giving you guys this so that you can see, the reason why I called that number is so you can see the whole motive is to make me look like somebody I am not. There was a couple of situations in between all of this where Vontre was caught lying in so many different ways. Taking Locklear's car in the middle of the night. Mako told me that he took Michelle Monroe's car. Is that true, Mako?
Whoever was home, he drove their car to the store, took their car drove to the store.
Yeah. But he was taking them when he was supposed to be at school and stuff, right?
I don't recall, but it's a lot that he was doing during that time.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna bring y'all back. But I'm being a good pastor best I could. When I say good, that's relative. I look back, I was being a dumbass pastor. Mm-hmm. And long story short, I'm in London. Vincent called me, told me what he caught him doing. I said, get him out my house and call his now wife. Should get her out that house over there with the ladies. I said, I'm not pulling up with this no more. So this really began the beginning of me starting to recognize there was a problem in my ministry. I have coddled, I have not entitled, but I have enabled. It was a whole mess. The power of God was moving in the ministry and people's lives were being changed. But the ones there was a group of them, and that's really who we're talking about. There was a group of them, it just won't right. So I kicked them out. Now, mind you, me and Lisa are divorced at this time. She's in another church, but we're still in communication. And I'm telling her everything that is going on. She's like, what? Eventually she come back to the church. We won't marry. And let me say this. Lisa did not want to leave the church. I kicked Lisa out the church. Reid, what? Mm-hmm. Yep, sure did. That was because my then mentor, there were two of them, they were over 60 years old, that I honor my leadership. And they were saying, you got to get her out the church or God can't bring you another wife. You know, you doing all this stuff in the ministry, power of God moving, these women looking at you, that one of these can be your wife. You need to get her out because she's holding the children. Everybody knows she's your wife. They think you're still married. You can't move forward. So I was like, Lisa, you just need to go somewhere else. I did. That was me. I told you I didn't do everything right, but I ain't doing no child molestation and child fondling. That's some bull. Forcibly child fondling. I did not do that. In fact, I did not reach my hands to do anything but say, you need to wash because you stink. You know, but that's no dig towards Lamontre. All of them was rotten. I know these young folk don't like to wash. And then they will go and use my shower. And it looked like somebody played and made mud patties in a shower. Come on in here. You ever done the anal and then, you know, it was clean, but then that last time you went too deep and now on the tip of your peen is a little poo. Well, it's a little doo-doo that's on the tip of your peen. Well, you know, sometimes they say the love is in the doo-doo. Just wipe it off and then you get right on back to it. It can happen. So
I'm sorry, when he came for them teenage boys and said that they was dirty, they would take showers in his bathroom and they would be dirty. I had to throw in that to say, Pastor Doodoo said, you ever had, and you went too deep, and then you got a little poop on the tip of the pee-pee, well, you just wipe it off and you just keep it going. That's why they call them the golden tip. I just had to put that out there. Also, coming up, pay attention. Pay attention, it gets worse. I told you, y'all got to stay for the end. We are not playing no games. He recorded this past Monday when we went live. He got so nervous and was choking up. Couldn't choke on no teenage pain, but he was choking up them tears. Okay? And I appreciate the apologies because there's a lot of people apologizing to me saying, Tasha, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have did this. This came from the pastor's mouth. This came from y'all Patreon pastor's own mouth. Okay? The poo-poo pastor. Yes. It had the nerve to call a teenage boy dirty. Ain't all teenage boys dirty? Don't all teenage boys steal cars? Huh? So, you keep hearing him saying he kicked his wife out. He kicked his wife out the church. The bishops of the church said that he had to kick his wife out of the church so that he could find another wife. The wife is going to be talking here in a minute. And when I tell you, you are going to be floored at what he does to her and how much he embarrasses her on this live in front of everybody. Lisa, I know he getting you a boob lift. I know he getting you lipo. I know he buying you Birkin bags, girl. But when you came up to defend him and he just kicked your ass out like he been doing this whole damn time, child, I don't even know what to say. I can't even, as a black woman, protect you. Black woman to black woman, okay? Let's keep it rolling. Listen.
Yeah, I was rough. I would tell the women, you got to take this, go buy a new bra, because we praising the Lord, and you are going to knock yourself out. Tie them things down. And you praising the Lord, and you look like a baby arm up on the receiving blanket. Put on them underwear. Yes, that's what I did. Well, somebody told me he was taking that and making it something that it wasn't supposed to be. I don't give up. I mean, because you won't try on no underwear. If you was trying on, but you won't try on, and it was me and you exclusively in a small room with the lights down and creating. No, I was being what I thought I needed to be to make sure everything was all right. I was doing that. You know, I still got a little bit of that in me, you know, especially dressing folk. I'm like, you can't go with me look like that. We got to go somewhere. I even did my mentor like that. He'll tell you all that. So January and February, and I have all these emails. I didn't know I had this. Hey, Bishop, I didn't know I had this, but I have all the emails between me and him and me and Ashley, which is his wife, because this is how they played me. She made me believe because they kept getting caught, and he had already had a situation with this other girl. Made me think, because she was the prophetess. She's one of the prophetess in the church. She was a leader in the church. That's right. And so they started doing what they were doing. And I said, Vontre, you already slept with one girl. We had to send her away for a year because they were all in Shamako house. So we sent her to a sister church, which is the church, Felicia Mama's church. That transpired. You know, there was so much going on, and I was running in and out thing. I said, I'm not about to send Ashley away because now you done having sex with her. Let her be. And so Ashley, you see in the text, that was like, he's bothering me. I don't know why he's bothering me. I don't know. I don't want nothing to do with him. Because she knew I thought that Vontre was not good for her. So I didn't know that she was already caught up with him and they was tied up. She was playing me. Which there's a whole story just like Levontre connected to his wife, but that's not the situation. But it's just as layered, full of lies, and horrendous. But that's not. So months later, we heard this rumor. His mom was in the church, wanted me to take him back in. Mako was a yes for this as well. Now, don't blame Mako. He was made the way. Now, Mako is a lover, but he's a lover. He has a loving heart and love family. And he loved these people like his family. And I modeled that. And he was worse than me. Worse. So he wanted him to come back. Remember, I didn't know Vontre at 15, but Mako said he did because he was in the ministry. So they had a relationship, and then he lived in his house before he came to my house. But I wasn't connected to him. So Maka had a tie that was with him and a couple other, everybody. So when I heard his mama and Marco, and they had been talking to them because in the Greensboro area, I'm like, okay, I ain't halfway here, no way. It's fine, whatever. So then his mama tells me that he was just saying he was being emotional and there was people in his ear. Now, see, I've always been very open about my sexual palate, and I have never had a problem with it. Now, somebody told me that one of them in an interview, I don't know if it's true, was saying that I used to preach on homosexuality. I said, by this time in ministry, I had done already came to some clarity about some things. I would preach on perversion. But you're not going to find no tape, you're not going to find no CD of Larry Reid preaching on homosexuality. It's just a lie. Because when Joy was in the church, she should be in here with her wife. Back then, I don't even think Joy, because I knew about you and the female then, it was more so about you focus on your purpose, not being in a relationship. You know, it was not your gay is going to send you to hell. Now, I was harder on same gender loving people than I was probably if the same gender loving people were active in relationship, because I did not believe in having any form of sex outside of marriage, married, gay or straight. So anyway, that's how I was. I was rough. I was rough. If any old member said, you know, I felt abused by you because you were so rough, I get that. I was rough. I'm naturally a rough person, but my daughter's birth changed me and a whole lot of other things. Now, there are one accuser accusing me of a crime, child molestation and forcibly fondling. Puss and breadbasket. Everybody's breadbasket, don't matter who you is. Everybody's breadbasket, don't matter who you is. Now, see, this thing, y'all know Tasha K already knew this because we were friendly. She knew the whole story. So all this reacting and can't believe lies. She knew everything. And she knew that he did not know me until he was 17 years old. Have a relationship with me until he was 17 years old. She knew it. These other people that they interviewed accusing me of being same gender loving. And one of them accusing me of giving them HIV, having HIV and giving HIV.
Have I had my dick sucked by a nigga? I have. Have I sucked a nigga dick? I have. Have I had my dick sucked by a nigga? I have. Have I sucked a nigga dick? I have.
Lord, you know what? I forget this stuff.
Oh, because we ain't got to him kicking the wife out again during the live on Monday. I said Lisa been around the whole marriage being kicked out for men. Listen to me, and boys. Listen to me. Listen to me. The live stopped today. How does Tasha K know? And that's why I played that phone call that a lot of y'all did hear before we did this, to reiterate that I did not know about this, okay? Larry lies so much, he has to search and think for his lies, okay? That's why I have to keep my receipts. And this is why I have to record YouTubers, okay? This is it. Because they get out here and they start lying. They get out here and they start lying. Have I a nigga? I have. Has it something I have? But he was harder on same gender loving people. Well, why you weren't hard on yourself? Huh? Shout out to Sonya. I grew up with her. Sonya know me. We went to school. Me and Sonya De Jesus. We went to middle school together. She just gave me a super chat. That's my childhood friend right there. Listen, so he harder, he rough on the same gender-loving people and everything. I'm going to go ahead and keep rolling this. But this man, if he tell another lie, I'm going to keep pulling all the lies that he telling, and I'm going back it up with words coming out of his sticky mouth, okay? Dr. Sticky, Dr. Poopy. You got a little poop on the tip, and you just wipe it off and keep going. But these boys is accusing me of giving them HIV. HIV. Well, sir, if you hitting that deep in the poop there, everything that's in there going in the tip of your, so who knows? Who knows? And then you had a whole wife that you was sneaking off and having little, oh my God, Lisa. Keep it going. Let's go.
Why this stuff won't bother me no more? Am I being numb? Because that should be hard to say, but I don't feel nothing. I don't care no more. Now, mind you, when he came back because of what he had said, I was acting funny. I'm going to go ahead and put it plain. Because I'm the kind of person, when you share something in a way that will cast me in a bad light, because really what he was sharing, and this is the reason why I didn't even really get into all of that really, because what he was sharing was conversations and making, and just, it was the whole fact. Well, the reality is I should not have been sharing stuff with him, because he was coming over, and Marco told me something today I couldn't believe. He was looking at my accounts balances. He was over my shoulder, and I would catch him sometimes watching everything I would do when he would walk over there to the house when I had a 1-bedroom, 2009. And he was carrying all the information back to Shimako. Somebody, well, Reid got $96,000 in one account. Why is your card been repo? Let's ask him for the money, which I didn't know Marco had that going on at the time. And I was in this thing with the other lady. So I'm going to say and I bet Marco and some other ones will say the same thing, talk too much business and the business of the members with him around. He shouldn't have been around. And the same thing with his wife. They were adults, but not here. Yeah.
Okay, I thought I was going to talk about more of our background first.
For the receipts, I'm giving you the receipts, God, from his own mouth. But then we got some more receipts that he lied about. Part 3 is amazing. Not part 3, part 5, part 6 is amazing. Okay, but this was so golden. I just had to bring it to you right now, okay? Just in case more lies got out here to get told, okay? So Lisa now, he's talking to his wife, Lisa. Remember he said he kicked his wife, Lisa, out of church? The bishops, the higher ups said that he had to kick his wife, Lisa, out. Now Lisa is coming in to defend Larry. Listen to her and listen to what he does to her. Let's go.
You can.
Before I go into that,
You can.
this really, when these accusations are brought up, it really triggers me because of the blood, sweat, and tears that went into building this ministry. I remember, so they don't know, we always joke and talk about Wade and everything like that, but we went from a nice townhouse. This is in my book too, because this is part of my good grief. We went from a nice townhouse to viewing a land that had an abandoned property on it. And I would say the house was abandoned too, but Reid said, God said, we're going to live here and we're going to start ministry here. And I gave so much. Reid was so much into the church broke our marriage up. Sure. I'm not even going to I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because these people pulled on him so much. And I would fuss about it behind the scenes, because I'm like, but you would never know it in church. I would smile, whatever. But when it came to the point where when Xaria was born and Reid was given, like for Christmas, Reid would get everybody something in the church for Christmas. Suits, shoes, men's suits, women's suits, shoes, clothes. I'm like, what is going on? And I would say, Reid, my pastor never did this. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is not something that I remember growing up. Like, what are you doing? So, but I had my daddy in my mind, because my daddy loved Reid. He was like, Lisa, you need to be with this man. He even told me one time to shut your mouth and do what you're supposed to do. And so it is just so much to take in, because it's a lie. Like, Reid had never been by himself. Never. We were married all the way up until 2007. Vontre was born in 1990, so that makes him 17. And if I'm in the picture, that is not happening. So what are you talking about? I'm like, and then they try to paint the narrative. Oh, she wasn't there. I was only gone for 2 years, and when I came back, me and Reid was together. So I'm trying to figure out. And then when it wasn't me, he was engaged to Jennifer, and I'm sorry, he was engaged to somebody else, and she was overseas. So he was doing a whole lot of traveling and all those things. Because when he called me, he was in London. So
That's right.
I'm like, so what are you talking about? None of this. Reid was never by himself. He always had his adjutant with him or Mako. He has never been by himself with nobody.
That's
So I'm
very,
trying to figure out, what I'm saying is there was no room there for none of that to happen. None.
well, to Levantre's point, I never went no.
He was never by himself. Ever, ever, ever. She was around the entire time. There was only like 2 years when she wasn't around, okay? When she wasn't around. You done heard the footage of Larry say, have I? I have. As somebody, I have. You heard the footage of him admitting to having a relationship with Levantre at 17 and said that I knew that he had a relationship with Vontre at 17. Now watch him dismiss everything that she said because he came in right after. This ain't cut. This ain't cut right here. Go ahead.
Worry about myself, but when I was home, I always stayed up in the room as I still do now. And just like now, everybody comes one by one into my room and asked me, engaged me, talked to me, however. So we were by ourselves because there were things that he would do and nobody would be around. Now, what I'm not going to do, and I want to be very clear about this, and this is on purpose, and this is the reason why, I want to be very clear about this. What he is touting and saying that I did was not me. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it like that. I want to say.
So after she said he was never alone, Reid said, hold up now, wait a minute, Lisa, I'm not going to let you say, because I would be in my room, like I'm in my room by myself, and people would come in my room and talk to me, confess with me, and do little things. That's what he said to Lisa. And Lisa sat there stunned. Like, didn't I just defend you? She looked stupid. Just like when her father told her to shut up and be quiet. She shut the fuck up and she was quiet and she collected her checks, lived in her townhouses, got her Birkin bags and her liposuction that he just got her last year, and titties done for another woman to suck on him. He always talking about that woman leaving him for a woman, but how many men or teenage boys did he leave her for? Keep it going.
It is, Lisa, I am so sorry. I'm listening to you talk and I remember. It's like taking me down memory lane because I forgot. But I'm sorry because you say the church broke us up, but I allowed the church to break us up. That's what it was. I didn't know that I was being obsessed over. I did not know that I was being used to fulfill voids. I did know who he was or who he could be and had some fears about that because of how he was. And he also told me about.
This is Larry talking about Vontre. He says that he was used by 17-year-old Vontre, being obsessed over, being replaced as a father. After he just told his wife, people did come into my room and still come into my room one by one, tell me things and does things. The same thing that Vontre said. He will go in his room and he would be asked and paid $60 to do favors for him. And he still never told what that $60 was for. The only thing he said, Larry Reid, about that $60 was that he didn't have any other skill set outside of playing drums, so he just gave him $60. But and then confirms that Vontre was coming in his room and obsessing over him. Oh, it gets stickier. Just let's keep it going.
Him being molested by his cousin Mike and his former pastor, which is his mama's pastor, because he was playing the drums over there, had exposed him to some things, maybe a strip club, maybe it was. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. And some girl that he had a relationship with. So when he came to me, this is why when somebody said that he said that I asked him to dance and turn around and show me da. Number one, and I should repeat again, I shared things with him I should not have shared. And because I told information, he was consistently curious about my life and what I have done, particularly with men. And he was very interested in it. So he will always bring it up. I had other relationships in my life and other adjutants who one was like a protector. And he knew all my business. And if he would talk, he would remember me at the altar. I was led to go to the church 2:00 in the morning. I called him, have him go with me. And I prophetically felt all of this. Now he's going to remember this. Marco, I told the story. I said, I feel like I'm going to be blamed or put in a situation where men are going to be saying, and women, that I have been inappropriate with them. I don't like the culture of this ministry. I don't like the way things are. I'm too close and too connected to the people. And now this is in the year of 2000, and we were in Murchison Road. So this is before we moved to, and I was being tormented by dreams and feelings. And so I took him with me. This little short guy that was in church. Y'all knew his name. I ain't gonna call his name. And he was always with me. And he remembers that we talked extensively about that. But I know I was probably in the future because I would do that kind of stuff all the time. So yeah, that was by this time 2010. Just so you know, Lisa, but I already told you. There were when he had time, he was run to my house when he was staying in the house with Vincent and them, and Kendall was coming over there to do my feet, or Vincent was coming. I think that time he was pulling my neck, the decompression. I've always had these problems since I jumped off this 12-foot thing, and a little bit of track from running track. And he would run. I didn't know this. I was told this after all of this, that he would, if Vincent or Kendall were trying to come to my house, he will get up, grass up, and run to my house to get there first. And then because he didn't like other people being around me. So, but I didn't know that. I didn't know none of that. I did not know when I would leave the house when we was all stand together in 2009 and 3216, and then Grace Park in the first part of 2009. I did not know he was putting on my clothes. I did not know he was mimicking me. I did not know that he was telling the people at the school that I was his father, his blood father, his real father. I didn't know that. I did not know that he was telling people I'm going to be buying him a car and me and him going to be going on trips. I wasn't even that person to do that. Then I go on trips now, take folk. I don't know where any of that is coming from. And $60. There were conversations and things that we would have about what he wanted to do with his life that I know was inappropriate. And so I would try to insert myself in between what it was that he said that he wanted to do. I was a Captain Save a Hope with everybody. So I was trying to during that time I would go get people out the club, off the strip pole, and insert myself to abort that. But at the same time, I began to see in 2009 and was creeped out. And that's when I pulled the, asked my then adjutant to come with me to the church in the middle of the night. Something just felt wrong. And it was obsession. I'm clear on that now, but I didn't see that then. And I wouldn't believe that. He was a different person away from me because it would just be me and him. And so he was using everything that I was, that I had and did, and somehow or another, it's something psychological that happened, that where he placed me. And these stories that he is telling, that is not the truth of them stories. And I repeat, that was not me. We had real, personal conversations that I should not have had, in my opinion, if I knew who he was, but I didn't know who he was. And those conversations took place when they moved back into my house in 2009 when they were living in Grace Park. And I really hate that I allowed him close to me. I'm not sorry for having a relationship with him. I have a relationship with everybody. But I want to say this. Because of dealing like that, these young guys will develop with me strange connections and will fight over me. I didn't know that. I remember this one guy who was transgender. And I remember trying to tell him to masturbate because he was so sexually active. But because he was a bottom, which then I didn't have this knowledge.
Now, hold on, because it gets sticky. It gets sticky. He said these young men will have these weird obsessions with him. And they will fight over him and want him. And he didn't know that he was being obsessed over. And had he would have known the type of person Levontre was, he wouldn't have done it. But he said he would insert himself, and the $60 was for some things that he did. And so, it's funny, but it's not funny. It's just funny because Dr. Sticky think this shit is a game. A motherfucking game out here with people's children. Okay? Now, he's telling a story. So the same way Vontre came to him and said, and told us in the interview, he went to Larry and said he wanted to be a stripper. Larry said, "Oh yeah? Well, let me help you out there. Here's $60. So this other trans guy is coming to him, and this is what he says. Can you rewind it back just a little bit? Just like right when he go just a little bit more. All right, let's go.
I remember trying to tell him to masturbate because he was so sexually active. But because he was a bottom, which then I didn't have this knowledge, he's like a woman. So a woman doesn't jack off. You know, she sometimes insert her vulva, a clitoris, a little clitoris play. And that's how he would. But he had to stick large objects in his anus. He liked fisting. So I couldn't understand why jacking off did not work for him, but he explained it. I said, "Oh," he said, "I gotta have something in me." So I got so many stories, which reminds me I'm ending my OnlyFans today, and I'm doing all OnlyFans content in Patreon. And so they got together and said they're gonna set up a camera and call me in the middle of the night and say that I'm really going through.
Okay, so now you're going to hear, so that same transgender who said he couldn't come by masturbating, he told her to masturbate, right? And he only could come by something being in him. At that time, he said he was a bottom, but he didn't know what a bottom was at that time. And so, but by the way, he's ending his OnlyFans content as of that Monday, because this was recorded on Monday, this past Monday. This whole audio was recorded on Monday. So he's ending his OnlyFans content. So I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all better go and download the videos now. Listen, make sure your son ain't on no video. Now, so now this transgender, the one that said needed something in him, calls him and listen to this. Play.
Pastor, I want to go hit the club. I want to go to the strip because there are places in Fed where you can go and get Farut immediately if you same gender loving back then. And I would have got up out my bed and went over there. But a day before, one of them, he's in the chat, called me and said, "You know, this is what we were going to do. I'm sorry. Forgive me. You too good of a person. I can't do you like that." Y'all, I can't even tell you how many times something like that has happened. And I was in my 20s. Well, yeah, I was in my, Kendall, you came in 2008. Yeah, I was in my 20s. And I've dealt with some of the most, I remember one girl, Cynthia, she tried to commit suicide and called me from the hospital saying, "It's your fault. You broke up with me. You broke up." I don't know what to tell you. And that's really where the joke come from, where I say my pen has a gold tip. Because I don't know what it is. It's like I draw the dumbest, stupid, I ain't gonna say dumb, stupid. The most fractured people in the world to me, particularly back then. Still do now, but I have so many boundaries and things of that nature. Shout out to Jesus. Von Trey calling me, because that's how he led into having a relationship with me. And he would say, you know, because by this time he's married. And I didn't want his wife to know what I knew about him, because she was head over heels with her husband. I'm like, she don't know this man. Like, I know this man. And so I would get involved in the conversations, and he wanted to take that lead in and then to come close to me. And I want to come over. I want to, you know, da. I said, you know, this can't happen, you know, and you are treading in an area that, you know, I don't want to do that. I could have. He was of age. I was single. I didn't want to do that. I did not want to do that. Go look at the pictures and ask me, did I want to do that? I mean, not say, I'm just a little jokey. You know, but I did not want to do that. So for 7 years, he chased me. And I said, they ain't gonna tell that. And he was married. He chased me for 7 years after he came back. And he tried everything. And I look back now, and I can't help but see, you know, the broken little boy that has to be inside him. But I couldn't trust him no more after that. I just couldn't. I couldn't trust him no more. And now with the stuff he telling, the way that he telling, I remember having the conversation. I said, if you felt a certain kind of way and had to work through something emotional, just talk. I said, why are you gonna talk to all these other people? Talk to me. I said, I want to understand what's going on. Is it because you get attention from them or what? I don't know. What is it? I hope that I've done something great to impact him, although I'm sure that's not gonna be discussed. But I really hate that. So Lisa, when you came back in 2010, how you saw my interaction with them then, I had already like, okay, something's not right.
Yeah, it was different.
So that's why everybody saw him pining after me, chasing me, and I wasn't following up.
I thought I was good all day until lately. So if I go off the camera, I'm just having some emotions. I love hard. I love hard and I love deep. If anybody would have told me that I would be sitting here now talking about this, I wouldn't believe it, because I was around. And to see the level of love and the level of sacrifice that we gave, this was not just a regular ministry. We gave from our heart. Everything we did was from our heart. I remember, and his mom came into the ministry, which I'm really frustrated at her. Somebody can tell their story, but for you to side with the person that's telling the story, if I was her, I would know what, you tell your story. I'm your mom, but I can't get involved. To know that she's actually involved and did an interview with this other person, with this blogger, I'm completely confused, because we took care of not just her son that she pretty much gave away, we took care of her as well.
In ministry that I've been in, the men deal with the little boys and the women deal with the girls.
Okay.
You know, and so they do things with them and they take them places, and they, whether it's playing ball, bowling, whatever it is, they spend time with them.
You know what was weird is when I found out that Reid had sex with men, and then he says online that his wife left him for a woman.
We was talking about the tattoos and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, don't put anything on your body. It was you damn to hell if you had a tattoo, if you wore earrings. Everybody came to the church had earrings. The guys had to take them out. They couldn't wear them. You couldn't get tattooed. what he taught us not to do and was a sin then. So he's doing it himself. If it happened to one of his kids, he's going to go to the depths of whatever to make sure that whoever did something to his children get what they deserve.
We ain't even got to the receipts video yet. We ain't even played the mom's interview. It's some others interview. I'm going to leave that as a surprise. But listen, y'all have been talking a lot of shit out here on these YouTube streets, okay? But the audacity for even his handlers, Shamako and the wife, and the mama to the wife sitting in the back, and the wife is gay, Shamako's gay, and they had a gay son. The son that Shamako won't even allow to be alone with Larry. And then he has the audacity to say he can't believe that Lavantre's mother did an interview. If my son came to me saying that this happened, I would just stay out of it, is what he said. Well, would you stay out of it, Shamako? If your son came to you and said Larry touched him, would you stay out of it? Would your wife stay out of it? If Mr. Reid, Poopy Reid, Sticky Reid, Golden Tip Reid touched your son, because he does have a 15-year-old son himself, but want to leave his son alone with Reid. Matter of fact, Vantre told me that Shamako hugged him one time and came back and told him that he had received an erection when he hugged him, and thought that instead of him being with Reid, he would have thought that Lavantre would have been with him. This is what the cake baker said. This is what the one that just said he cannot believe this boy's mother sat down, because all of them were literally facilitating environments for young teenage boys to be taken advantage of. But this is who, like I said, this is who y'all give y'all OnlyFans to. Now, what I need y'all to do is y'all need to tag BET Plus and ask them if they want PPPs on their show. Since we jealous. He said, well, I'm jealous of him being with BET Plus. He's on TV shows. He told me, be a good person, Tasha, and you can get on TV like me. I said, listen, Mr. Reid, you want to be famous? This is what famous is. So I'm glad that you were a great person. You got on television. Now we're going to watch what BET Plus and Mr. Kurt Franklin do with these allegations. We're going to see what they're going to do with hundreds of thousands of people tagging them, with you forcibly fondling and admitting out of your own mouth that you like to go deep and get a little doo-doo on your tip and just wipe it off. And young boys are chasing you and obsessing over you because you're just so great, but you didn't know that. And let me correct something for those of y'all. Let me tell you what he's trying to do out here, okay? So North Carolina has a law that 17 is consensual, right? Larry was almost 30 years old. So the reason he keep harboring on 17 is because he does not want a case against him. Let me tell you what Lavantre has said, because he's trying to say, I did not know him. When we started Lavantre's interview pertaining to the section of him coming to know Reid in the church, I said, when did you come to know Reid in the church? And he said, we're talking about Reid. I said, yes. He said, 14 turning 15. This is when he came to know about the church. This is when his mother brought him to the church. He didn't say that Larry was fondling him at 15. So the fact that he keeps trying to say that that's what he said that the grooming started 9 months after he got to the church, after he turned 15, which would have made him 16. And then that's when everything started. And you just filled in the blanks, the $60, the stripper, you giving people advice on masturbating, and, you know, your wife trying to get up here and clear your name saying you was never alone. But you said, hold up, they used to come in my room by themselves. And I think I heard some stupid ass on Instagram say there was no MacBooks in 2005. You can Google and buy right now on eBay a 2005 MacBook. So when Vantre said he was recording, Larry Reid was recording Vontre turning around and stuff like that. Somebody said there wasn't no MacBooks. What? Kind of. First of all, Apple was one of the first computers. I was on Apple computers in the 80s. They had MacBooks out in 2005, 2003. Macintosh. And y'all steady make excuse after excuse. Like I said, tag BET Plus. What'd he say? I'm just saying. I just want them to watch. Maybe they'll buy the content. Let's show them what jealousy look like. Now, we about to head over to TashaKLive.com, okay? Remember, Sunday, the mother is coming to support her son, okay? He cannot understand how a mother just won't stay out of this. If my son came to me, I would just stay out of it. You say you was touched, just stay out of it. Because we took care of her son. She shouldn't ask no questions. But we got some exclusive information on Mr. Kevin Hunter and Sharina. Things ain't the same, okay? Who else are we going to talk about on the app? Man, we got a whole show lined up for you, okay? This is the second part of Fuckery Friday. Because we've been too long over here, over 2 hours. And so we about to go have some fun. We about to cleanse ourselves some more. You know what I'm saying? And we about to really, really shut it down on TashaKLive.com, okay? A lot of exclusive information over there. So y'all hurry up. Subscribe via the website, TashaKLive.com. Remember, you need to be subscribed anyway to watch the mother's interview. And then we have other interviews involving Larry Reid dropping Sunday after Sunday to follow, okay? I appreciate y'all love. Please like this video, share this video. I love y'all, okay? And I know y'all shocked. I'm still shocked. And I had to edit 4.5 hours of footage because that live was 4.5 hours long of him just crying and he had done brought up the whole congregation to try to support. And then every time they said something, he knocked them down. And they just like, what? But I was just taking up for you. And he just came out and just confirmed everything that they said, okay? From Dr. Sticky's mouth, all right? Listen, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, subscribe. Please follow me on Big O Live, Instagram, Facebook. I'm trying to remember. Dr. Sticky got my mind all sticky right now. You know what I'm saying? Please hit me in the DM if you have tips or email me at unwinewithtashak@gmail.com. Also, if you want to advertise on my platform, please hit us at businesstashak@gmail.com or just hit us on Instagram and we'll get back to you with the price list and stuff like that. Also, what was I going to say? Thank you so much to my team, all right? I'm excited about our PPP series. Like I said, it's going to be exclusively airing on TashaKLive.com. And right now we're about to head over to TashaKLive.com and talk about this Kevin Hunter and Sharina wine, all right? And so go ahead, create your accounts. We'll start the live at 10:15. That'll give y'all enough time to subscribe. All right. And with that being said, anything else that I'm forgetting? Now I gotta go. Bye.